So here we have Guitar of the Week for the month of March, monthly and weekly Guitar of the Week. This is quite rare, Eddie Van Halen signature series. Eddie Van Halen, not long after this was made, stopped his association with Music Men. They continued on for a while under the Axis moniker, but the sales dropped because they didn't have Eddie's approval anymore. The unusual thing about this is Eddie's idea of bolting the pickups to the body, very good idea, which works exceedingly well. Only one volume control, which he calls tone, for changing the tone, because as you turn down, the tone does change. And no capacitance with extra controls that aren't really used much. Three-way switch, of course, which works very high, robust. Floyd Rose, proper Floyd Rose with a Hipshot D tuner. You can drop down to D very quickly. And one feature that not many people realise is it's got a slightly teardrop shaped neck. So Eddie worked out that you needed a bit more bulk on the bass side of the neck than the treble side. So here we are. We'll play a couple of Eddie type. That's about it for me. Let me go the other. He pioneered all that, you know, of course. People don't understand is Eddie being a three-piece band, although they had other keyboards and whatnot, there was only really the three of them. So if you break a string on a Floyd Rose guitar, equipped guitar, the remaining five will actually go out of tune. So Eddie, in his infinite wisdom, and also Leo Fender designed it this way in the first place back in the 50s, it was designed to only really go down. So Eddie, you wouldn't know listening to him, but he goes down first and then whinnies it back up. There's no going back at all. And the idea of that is extra sustained resonance from the body, but also if you do break a string on stage, the remaining five strings will stay in tune so you can complete the song. Obviously they have spares and road crew and all that, guitar techs, but the guitar, you can continue on with the song even if a string breaks, which I don't think he was known for that, but you can probably find some footage where he does break a string and the guitar will not go out of tune. And that's part of Eddie's philosophy. Another feature of the Eddie Van Halen signature guitar is this, quite clever. Only two guitars in my experience have had this feature. The case is deep enough for you able to leave the vibrato on exactly where you want it, and you don't have to remove it because the case is deep enough. The only other guitar that's had that from memory is the Stanford case for vintage Fender guitars made up until about 1965. They changed it after that, but the Stanford case made right here in Australia was very clever and acknowledged as such by the overseas buyers when we do sell one occasionally. So that's another clever thing that Eddie factored into the design. Great guitar, and they're highly sought after these days. They don't come on the market very often, and this is below the lowest price you can find on the internet. R1 is cheaper than it. So come on down and have a play. If it's still here, we think this one's going to go quick.